so much for coming to the Boulder Comedy Festival. Give it up for yourselves for coming out tonight. Give it up for the Dairy Arts Center. And give it up for me, some random Asian guy you've never seen before. Yes, let's do this. Guys, I'm so excited. We're doing the Boulder Comedy Festival. We have a lineup of so many great comedians from all over the country. I'm pumped, you're pumped. Let's fucking do this, all right? Are you ready? All right, so a little bit about myself. I am from Boulder, Colorado. Yeah, thank you. I know I don't look like I'm from Boulder, Colorado, but I took a DNA test and it came back with a bottle of kombucha. So I'm pretty cool like that. I was born here in the high school I went to. Out of 1,400 students, I was the only Asian guy at that high school. Yeah, it's kind of like being in this room right now. I appreciate you, though. I appreciate you. So my name is Linus. It is a name I came up with myself. It's not my legal name. And I chose the name Linus just so I could prove to people we can pronounce our L's, okay? Yeah, my legal name, though, is, well, I'll spell it for you guys. It's W-A-T-T-A-N-A. W-A-T-T-A-N-A. Does anyone want to give that a try? Ooh, racist. No, I'm kidding. Guys, I was born in Boulder. Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I actually went to Cambodia, I was super pumped. I got to we got off the plane. I went to immigration. And I gave my passport to the guy, and the guy, he looks at my name, looks at me, and he goes, what tana? Welcome back to your home country. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say? I had to ask my dad later. I was like, hey, Dad, yeah, my name, yeah, Watana, yeah. Is it pronounced what tana? Yeah. Wait, but you can pronounce it two different ways, right? Like Watana, and he was like, no, it's just Watana. I was like, wait, you just let me mispronounce my name my entire life? He was like, yeah, it's a free country. That's why we came here, dumbass. Like, it's pretty fucked up, right? I do love my parents, though. They're very great. They've worked very hard their entire lives for me and my sister, right? And but that being said, they've been here for about 60 years, or however old my sister is. I'm just kidding. Asian don't raisin. She's actually 40. So they've been here for a number of years, so their English is pretty good, but they'll still have me and my sister translate for them just because they don't like talking to white people. But here's the thing. I don't speak Cambodian to make this legit in front of the Mormons, and I also don't like talking to white people. It got to the point where I was sick of it. I was like, Dad, I don't want to do this anymore. Why don't you go to the front door and tell the Mormons that you're not home for once? My dad, he was like, Rhinus, my English is so bad. I was like, Dad, that's not even a good Cambodian accent. What are you doing? Stop doing that with your eyes. We already have those. He's like wearing a rice hat for some reason. I don't know where you got that from. My parents, they've owned a donut shop for the last several years. Very successful. And their business was connected to my Gmail address just because, they don't know what that means. But all the time, my inbox would just be flooded with these 5-star reviews. Very proud. But I saw this one review, and it said, the headline said, best donuts in town. And below it said, Sarun, my dad, makes the best donuts here, and Vanny, my mom, is the nicest woman ever. And I'm reading this 5-star review, and I was like, oh, wow. No, the fuck she isn't. No, you guys don't understand. I'm writing back to these people as the donut shop, like, look, you don't know this bitch like I know her, okay? Great employee benefits, but she treats her employees like shit. I mean, it's been great. I've had a great life here in America. I've been here my entire life. I will say this, though. Dating as an Asian guy in Colorado is exactly what you would expect. It sucks. What? Okay, that's the lack of shock on some of your faces is rude. No, and I know like part of that reason is the stereotype that Asian guys have small penises. And to that, I just have a couple things I want to say. The first one, stop laughing. The first one is nuh-uh, and the second is, honestly, it's not even like a size thing anymore. It's just like with all these tariffs going about, it's too expensive to have an Asian penis in the house. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, why import a penis when you can get a homegrown one from the hill for like duty free, Like duty free meaning they're unemployed, but you get what I'm saying. So a lot of these dating apps, Asian men tend to be the least picked race. And, I was on one of these dating apps recently, and I'm just swiping right on everything because that's how you play the game. But my friend, he sees me, and he just sees I'm swiping right on everything. And he's like, hey, man, I hate to break it to you, but 30% of the profiles on there are bots. They're not even real people. And I was like, holy shit, so even ChatGPT is swiping left on me? Is that what you're saying? It's pretty fucked up. Yeah, so I am Cambodian, but I used to teach English in China for a couple of years. Yeah, look, don't worry. This was before I brought COVID to America, okay? So you can relax. I love that joke because statistically there is someone here who's like, I fucking knew it, Yeah. Guys, by the way, you guys are such a beautiful crowd. Like, give yourselves a round of applause. Like, I'm not lying, okay? Yes, some of you do look like you convinced my parents to come to America if they believed in Jesus, but, that's neither here nor there. I was, however, in Cambodia for a number of years, and that was very interesting because one of the things I liked to do when I was over there was go sightseeing around the country on my days off. But my Chinese wasn't that good, so I'd always sign up for these tour groups. So I'd get onto this tour bus, we'd go to the countryside with 50 other Chinese people, right? And I remember this one time, the tour guide, he knew I was American because of my passport, but we get off at our first stop, and in Chinese, he goes to all 50 Chinese people. He's like, hey, by the way, everybody, we have a special guest with us today. We have an American. And immediately, all 50 Chinese people just started looking around for this tall white guy that didn't exist. But I wanted to keep a low profile, so I started looking around for a tall white guy that didn't exist. And I knew they weren't gonna think I was the American, because I was wearing a rice hat. Yeah, turns out not a lot of people in China wear rice hats anymore. So they immediately knew it was me. But here's the thing, guys. When you look like this and you tell Chinese people that you're American and not Chinese, no one believes you. They're like, oh, you're American? Prove it. So I would have to, shoot them. Like, that's... Yeah, it's crazy. I'll end off on this one, but I was on my lunch break, and I was sitting next to this Chinese guy just waiting for our food, and he leans over to me, and he was like, 不好意思，你知不知道 Wi-Fi 密码呢? Excuse me, do you know what the Wi-Fi password is? I was like, oh shit, my Chinese isn't that good. I'll just use the Chinese I learned growing up in Boulder. So I said, Ching Chong Ding. I didn't say that. I said, 不好意思，我不知道 Wi-Fi 密码，你应该玩风云吧? Sorry, I don't know what the Wi-Fi password is. You should ask the server. So he was like, oh, okay, which means, oh, okay. And so he goes over, he asks the server, he comes back, and just to be a nice guy, he's like, oh, Wi-Fi 密码是六个六, And I was like, oh, yes. Then some time goes by, he gives me another weird look, and he asks me again, he's like, 麻烦你，你的中文有一点奇怪，你在哪里人吗? Sorry, your Chinese is a little strange. Where are you from? And at this point, I was like, jig's up, I gotta let him know. So I told him, I was like, hey, I said in English, I was like, hey, I'm American, not Chinese. My Chinese very bad. Looks me dead in the eye. And he just goes, wait, he says this in English. Wait, you are American too? And guys, I should have known he was American because we were the only people in that restaurant wearing rice hats. All right, you guys ready to get this show started? All right, your first comic to the stage is a local comedian. She was just on the on the show Kill Tony. Everybody give it up for Kimberly Kester!
Boulder. Hey. I have been trying to be sexy longer than some of you have been alive. I've been trying to be sexy since the mid-'80s. And it's hard. I mean, the older I get, the harder it is. It's like trying to stop a mudslide with a makeup sponge. I used to be young and hot. I mean like piping hot. 450 degrees straight out of the oven, smoking hot. Now it's more of a microwave situation. Hard on the outside, cold in the center. It's probably time for me to get a husband. Now, I go online and I try to do online dating, but all I'm talking to are these widowed military doctors from Ghana. All they want are Apple gift cards. Screw that. Yeah. You know, and then I try to meet men organically, but you know, I see a hot guy and I'm like, damn, I could have gave birth to you. I might have screwed his dad in college. Now he's old and gross. Yeah. You know, I do get hit on a lot. Like, damn, that cougar could tear me up. I would tear you up. I'm dry as fuck. You would get more pleasure rubbing your wiener on a cheese grater. I open my knees, tumbleweeds roll out. Last guy came up coughing. Yeah. They put a canary up in the cavern. It's dead. It's all dead inside. Oh, man. Yeah, I recently I was part of I had a stalker situation. It was me, I was the stalker. I wanted to like find my old boyfriend from the 90s, the one that broke my heart. So I was so happy when I saw his profile on Facebook. He looked like shit. I was glad. I was glad that asshole looked bad. I'm glad time wasn't good to him. You know, because 30 years ago, he got my boss pregnant while we were dating. You know, and I'm not saying that I harbor resentment, but I have waited 30 years to fuck that baby. His name is Cody, and we're having dinner with his parents next week. Yeah. I hope they recognize my sexy ass when I walk in. Yeah. Yeah. I have roommates. I live with these two guys in their 20s. And, you know, it's not easy. You know, one of them, he's always playing Xbox, and I can hear him yelling in his bedroom, "Suck my ass!" Like, is he in there by himself? The other guy's always got his boys over. You know, it makes me super uncomfortable. I just skulk to my room. And, you know, I'm a woman in my 50s. I am 54 years old, and I should not be living with men in their 20s. I gave birth to them. And I can't get them the hell out of my house. I have come up with a plan, though. I'm gonna start dating their friends, so, yeah. Yeah, I have two sons in their 20s, and you know, it's amazing how you can have two kids that can be so different from each other. You know, one of them, he goes to college and gets good grades, he has a girlfriend. The other one sits in his room and plays Xbox and smokes pot. And I know I'm not supposed to pick favorites, but he has really good weed. Yeah. It's, yeah. You know, I got divorced from their dad when they were 5 and 7, so I've been a single mom for a long time. Long story short, he had an affair. I moved out. She moved in. They got married. Yeah, I was pissed. But, you know, I had a key to the house when they were on their honeymoon. Yeah. And you know what makes you feel better? 2 cans of tuna juice drained into a spray bottle. Yeah. When I was walking through the house, at first I was afraid. I was petrified. Were the neighbors who'd recognize my car in the drive. I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, but the tune is strong, and I hope it messes with your dong, and now I'm back while you're away. Sneaking through your house, oh honey, I'm gonna make you pay. Should change them stupid locks, you should have made me leave my key. If only you had known your shampoo be full of pee. Go on now, go. Enjoy those lay. I used a toothbrush where the plunger's been dripping there for days. Weren't you the one who tried to crush me with goodbye? You should have seen what I did with a bag of quick setting concrete. Whoa, as long as I wear gloves, you'll wonder how you got pink eye. I got all my life to live, and I got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey. Thank you. We can get past that. That was a long time ago. I'm totally over that. He said he divorced me because I was crazy, and I don't know why. But recently I was called a Karen. And you lose your shit one time in public. Everyone just pulls out their phones. I caught one. like you're a dang Pokemon. When is that gonna end? When are we gonna stop with the whole Karen thing? Not every woman is angry and shouts when they're mad. There's a lot of us that keep quiet and don't really use that anger out in public. We keep it inside and we get revenge later. And when you get to a certain age, you become invisible. I can go into the King Soopers and nobody sees me. It does make stealing the food easier. Yeah. Recently, I was at a show and this lady said, I want to set you up with my dad. I'm like, So I gave her my number. And, he called me and I didn't like his voice. And then, he sent me a selfie. I don't like his face. So we dated for a while. And it wasn't terrible. We'd cruise around in his Buick, we'd go to the early bird special at Perkins, come home, watch Wheel of Fortune, otherwise known as network TV, and chill. And then at 8 p.m., it was up to bed. I didn't want to have sex with him. There were issues down there. And, I'm not saying that, I don't think we should talk about erectile dysfunction. It's not hard. No. I just wanted to cuddle with him, feel his frail, crepey arms around me, lay my head on his spongy chest, feel his nose hairs caress the top of my scalp. And then when I get cold, I just use his skin as a blanket. All right, that's my time. I'm Kimberly Kester. Thank you.
Kimberly Kester, everybody! All right, our next comic comes all the way from New York City. Everybody give it up for Armand Shaw!
Thank you, guys. Guys, I've been stealing someone's Netflix password for the past 10 years, and I haven't talked to them in 10 years. They came over once. They logged into my console, and I never logged out. Right? And it's been 10 years. So I'm still watching Netflix on my Wii? Do you know how hard it is to Netflix and chill when you have to do this shit? I went to a movie theater recently, haven't been to the movies in a long time, and I forgot how expensive snacks are, I'm not paying that much for popcorn. So me and my friends, we went to a falafel place beforehand, and we snuck in our falafels. The movie started. We started to eat. And I didn't realize my falafel was spilling tahini sauce the entire movie. So the movie ends. The lights turn on. And my crotch is covered in dry tahini sauce. So it looks like I came during the Minions movie. Didn't help that my friend's face was also covered in tahini sauce. We're banned from AMC, that is what happened, man. I went on a family vacation recently, and we went on a cruise. And they decided to play a movie for us the first day. And they decided to play the movie Life of Pi. Nothing makes an Indian boy on a boat more comfortable than Life of Pi, right? After the movie, I just started counting lifeboats, you know? Where's the tiger? What's happening? We did go on a cruise. I was scared for the cruise. I didn't think I was gonna have fun, because I kept hearing cruises were filled with a bunch of people who have retired already, and I don't know how to connect with people my age. For sure can't connect with people older than me, right? And I could not have been more wrong. That was the most fun I've ever had. Nothing beats being in a hot tub listening to two 70-year-olds argue about Trump, right? I'll sip it on mojito all day listening to that, right? I don't know. I went to a networking event recently for work. Those suck. They're not fun. I was introducing myself to a group of people. It's like, hey, my name's Armand. And as soon as I was done, one guy went, and by the way, you're Indian, right? And another guy went, hey, that's pretty racist to just ask. No, it's not. That's a good question. There's 1 billion Indians, right? There's a 1 in 7 chance. It's just good stats, right? All I'm trying to say is if I went up to a white person and I went, hey, by the way, you're Indian, right? Still a good question, right? I don't know, man. People ask me, are your parents proud of you? Trying to become a stand-up comedian? And the truth is, they are. Because for 5 years, I told them I wanted to be a magician. And this is a step up, right? As sad as this is, I can promise you magic's sadder, okay? I started magic in 8th grade because I wanted to make friends. And it worked, I made friends. But I only made friends with other magicians. No one normal wants to talk to you after the card trick's done, right? So in 8th grade, my whole friend group was just a bunch of 40-year-old white men. And that's who I hung out with from 13 to 21, okay? I don't know, I never got invited to a school dance, but I did get invited to a lot of second weddings, right? I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out how to make friends. I'm not great at it. I've been going to a lot of bars trying to meet people. And I keep ruining every interaction I've had, because I keep getting the urge to prank people. 2 White Claws in, I'm gonna try to prank you. I'm sorry, okay? That is my character flaw. What I've been doing is we'll get in conversation, right? And they'll ask, where are you from? I go, oh, I'm from Minnesota. And they usually go, oh, I know someone from Minnesota. And I go, who? Who do you know, right? And whoever they say, I go, no way, I know them. But I've lost contact. So why don't we take a photo, and why don't you send it to them? And as soon as I see they've sent the picture, I go, I have no idea who that is. So I've made 0 friends in New York. But hundreds of people have my photo on their phone, right? And what's better than that? A friend. A friend's better than that. I don't know. I find it so funny because it's never a close friend they're sending this to. It's someone they met in college or a friend of a friend, right? The last time they sent them a text message was at least 6 months ago. And that person is just waking up to a photo of their friend, an Indian boy, and a message that just says, look who I found. Who'd you find? What's going on here? What are we doing? If you can't tell, I'm also bad at dating. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm on the dating apps. I've been on Hinge for a year and a half now. And in that time, I've gotten 1 like and 0 matches in a year and a half, right? So I showed my friend my profile, like, hey, what's wrong with me? Am I ugly? What's going on? And we both found out my sexuality had been set to lesbian. So 1 like is pretty good, right? 99% of women think I'm a man, and that is what I'm going for, right? According to Hinge, I'm straight again, and I'm happy to announce that had no effect on the number of matches I'm getting. I moved to New York 2 years ago, and I don't like it. It's not a fun place. Don't visit. It's not worth it. I was coming back from work the other day, and I was on the subway, exited the turnstile, and some guy decided to punch me. And I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. And in the meantime, he punched me again. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm getting beat up right now. I'm the type of guy who takes 2 punches to figure that out, right? After the second punch, I backed away from him, and I was like, hey, what do you want? And I started reaching for my wallet, ready to offer him cash. And he went, nothing. You're good to go. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I turned around to leave, and as soon as I turned, he swung again. Hit me right in the eye, black eye, chipped a tooth, concussion, the whole deal. That's how much I want to believe in people, right? Is that he hit me twice, and I was like, you're right, I am safe to go, right? I also went deaf in my right ear. I lost all my hearing in my right ear in less than an hour. And when it happened, I ran to the ear doctor, explained everything that happened to the receptionist, signed some paperwork. And then I sat down in the lobby, waiting for them to call my name. At the ear doctor? You think they have a screen for us deaf people, right? But no, instead for an hour, I just stood up for every other name that they called, just guessing, right? And eventually I guessed correctly, and I went to the back, and the doctor did a bunch of hearing tests. And he went, it's fucking bad. And I was all alone, on the verge of tears. But comedy's my defense mechanism. So I just went, you can say that again? And he didn't get the joke. He was like, oh, sorry, and he tore a piece of paper and wrote it down for me. He just wrote, it's fucking bad, and handed it to me. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you so much.
Armand Shaw, everybody. All right, guys, your next comic identifies as a lesbian empty nester. Everybody give it up for Mary Huth, everybody.
Hello, Boulder. I'm so happy to be here. Give it up for yourselves for supporting live comedy. Well, I am, as you heard, a lesbian empty nester. Before that, I was a lesbian soccer mom. And before that, I was happy. It's all different now. I think I'm going to share with you my parenting journey, okay? I'm not sure why everything is a journey now, like we're all Frodo Baggins or something, but there you are. You know, my partner Susan and I, we have been together for 31 years. And if you were to see her and me just traipsing around in the wild, you might think they're a little bit of an odd couple. Because Susan is a very white lady. Susan is every single solitary Sherwin-Williams paint chip of white. She is adobe, she is wedding dress, she is gypsum. She is also what we used to call in the gay community a rice queen. Now, I think you can probably figure out what that is from context clues. But in case there's any repubs in the audience, I'll spell it out. Susan has an Asian fetish. I am half Japanese and half European. I am Asian, but sadly, I am just white enough to be aging poorly. Oh, Boulder, I see I'm not the only one. At any rate, it worked out between the two of us, you guys, because I myself have a little bit of a colonizer kink, you know? And I always hear from those like judgy Gen Z people, oh, Mary, it is not good to be fetishized. It's just awful to be fetishized. I don't know, but it's kept me in a pretty nice standard of living for the last 3 decades. You kids and your kooky woke ideas, whatever. So, my partner and I, we went through 5 rounds of IVF in order to get our boys. I have 23-year-old twin boys. And the last time we did it, we decided it was the very last time we were going to try. We were going to move on to something else. We were very conservative for the time, and we only transferred 3 embryos. Doctor pulls me aside. He tells me, one of those embryos is the very best embryo I ever made. You know, like the expensive eggs at Whole Foods. I did that. And the other 2 were, as the young people like to say, mid. Okay? So we threw those up there. We hoped for the best. We went in for an ultrasound to check out what happened. And it turned out I was very, 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 very pregnant. I was pregnant with this side of the first row right here. Now you may ask yourself, how could that be? They only transferred 3 embryos. Well, every one of those embryos implanted and 2 split. Okay? So, essentially I was pregnant with a basketball team. Being pregnant with a basketball team is never great. I mean, unless you're a possum or something, you know. You know all 5 of those kids are not gonna go pro. One could very well end up like Dennis Rodman, and so much dribbling, am I right? But it was particularly devastating for us because we had lost twins 1 year earlier. Just to be clear, I didn't misplace them in a McDonald's ball pit or anything. They were born at just under 24 weeks and they died in our arms. It was a tragedy. I was diagnosed with a condition called incompetent cervix, okay? What happens is the human body goes, oh, this is about what a baby weighs, time to go. And if you are pregnant with multiples, it can result in a tragedy. It is also how you know. It is the men who write the medical journals. Why not freewheeling cervix? Or je ne sais quoi cervix? I'm gonna give you an example. Incompetent cervix, erectile dysfunction. Dysfunction just sounds like if you smacked the side of it and turned it off and on a couple of times, it might start working again. I demand a rebrand. Henceforth, it shall be known as incompetent dick. Do you suffer from incompetent dick? If so, Cialis might be right for you. So, because fortunately I live in California, just like you guys live here in Colorado, I had access to tremendous reproductive health care. And unlike a third of our sisters around the country, okay, and we decided to go with a procedure called a selective reduction. It was very painful, but I mean, emotionally painful. And what a selective reduction is, it's just a very precise abortion, and they do it with an 8-inch amnio needle. And you might be asking yourself, like, how does the doctor pick? You know, it all comes down to positioning. You want to talk about waking up on the wrong side of my uterus? Is that the line? Ooh, ha! It's gonna get worse. Okay. And then I just picture my 2 little twins, Kenji and Tadashi, like stuck up in the corner going, not it, you know? So, you know, finally it was done. The doctor looked up and, you know, very somberly announced it was done. We weren't quite done yet, because I still had to have my cervix double stitched. I had 7 months of complete bed rest. My partner, Susan, had 7 months of waiting on me hand and foot. She was the Cinderella of Sherman Oaks, California. And I had 4 months in the hospital. But you guys, at the end, Susan and I had over $1 million in medical debt. Okay? But, like, I do not regret our decision for 1 millisecond of one day. Because the only thing that would have been worse is if I would have been forced to try and carry 5 babies to term, that almost certainly some or all would have died. Now, the truth of the matter is, if all 5 of those babies had made it, I probably would have left 1 or 2 in a hot car at some point. I'm not real good at the math, you know? Oh, no. But, you know, I am really proud of my family. You know, we're not, like, perfect. We bicker, we argue. And as a matter of fact, in the last 6 weeks, both of my boys graduated from college. Thank you. One of them graduated cum laude from Cal Poly Pomona. Cum laude means with honors. And the other one graduated al dente from UC Santa Barbara. Gauchos. That means by the skin of his teeth. Okay? But I gotta tell you, going through all of this, it left me with an intrusive thought. Do y'all know what an intrusive thought is? Oh, this is Boulder, Colorado. You know what an intrusive thought is. It's like this thought in your brain, like on a circular track, you just can't get it out. And the thought is, I don't know if the doctor left the best 2 in there. Quite frankly, if you were to see my knuckle draggers, you might agree. They're not even gay, for Christ's sake. How much is one woman supposed to endure? Thank you guys so much. I just want to say one more thing. My boys' godfathers are here, Bart and Patrick. So anyway, I love you so much. Thank you, Boulder.
Mary Huth, everybody! All right. Your next comic, he's a very good friend of mine. One of my favorite comics in the scene, actually. Everybody give it up for Wes Williams!
All right, hell yeah. Boulder, how are you feeling tonight? Yeah, we're partying. I see some of us drinking here. I love drinking. I do, man. I love drinking, and I'm not a classy drinker. My favorite drink in the world is box wine. That's right, white women. The secret is out. And here's the thing, which you might not understand, is you're like getting me and you're going like, Wes, why are you drinking box wine? You have to understand, box wine is not wine. Box wine is a wild man's drink. Box wine is like what you drink before getting in a fight at Fuddruckers. That's right. Box wine is the official sponsor of Reaching for a Cop's Gun. Who stormed the Capitol? Was it Antifa? Was it Trump's people? No, it was Franzia. I know it's not wine because they don't even call it wine names, do they? Real wine has names like Cabernet, Zinfandel, Merlot. Box wine has names like red, white, pink. Box wine follows Gatorade rules. Pick a color, act like it tastes different. Because I see the fancy people drinking their wine, right? And they're picking out notes. This tastes like blueberry. This tastes like raspberry. Box wine tastes like the rent is due. Box wine tastes like dad's not coming back. It's a dark drink, man, but I love it. I love stuff that's bad for me. I love Chinese food. Any Chinese food fans in here? Yeah. I miss old Chinese food, though, with the spooky-ass fortune cookies. So many of you are too young to even remember this. I remember when fortune cookies used to be scary. You'd crack open a cookie, it'd say some haunting shit like, "Don't go home, she knows." It used to be haunting, didn't it? Young kids have no idea about opening up a cookie and it just says some stuff like, "Next Tuesday, buy a gun." We used to get shook by our dessert, man. It was scary, but I love it. I love stuff that's bad for me. That's my thing this year is I'm done apologizing for loving stupid shit, man. I love Taylor Swift. Me and the white women. Stronger than ever. But some of you are giving me a very cold look right now. We were on the same team, and now you're looking at me. Why do I have to talk? Why? She's the most popular recording artist in America. Why do I have to talk about enjoying Taylor Swift the same way that I talk about doing cocaine? When someone's like, "Oh, Wes, do you like Taylor Swift?" I've got to be like, in college. Who among us didn't enjoy a little Taylor Swift? I love dumb stuff, dude. I love Garth Brooks. Couple woos. Mostly people don't remember Garth Brooks as much anymore. How do I describe Garth Brooks to the young people in this audience? Garth Brooks is country music for people who fuck with their socks on. Is that good? Garth Brooks is country music for people who dab the grease off their pizza. I don't care, man. I'm corny. I love it. My favorite music in the world is 90s R&B. Yes. I love it. My favorite band, Belle Biv DeVoe. That's right. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you probably know their song that was really big on the radio. It was like, "That girl is poison." I love that song. It has ruined my life. It has. Because there's a lyric in that song that says, "Never trust a big butt and a smile." For 37 years now, I've only trusted women with a flat ass and a frown. I've dated 3 women named Liz. You're either laughing at that or you're named Liz. That's right. I don't know. I am trying to do the dating thing in Colorado, though. You guys are a little bit different. I'm from the East Coast. The first time I asked out a girl, I said, "Do you want to go on a date?" She said, "Sure. Do you want to go on a hike?" Or as I like to call it, an inconvenient walk. Why do you people love this so much? Who's ever been walking down a perfectly good paved road like, "I wish this sucked"? The only thing that could make this walk better right now is if I tore my jeans on a wet log. If you're from the East Coast, you can attest to what I'm about to say. We hate hiking so much that when we want someone to leave us alone, we tell them to take a hike. If I tell someone in Colorado to take a hike, they're like, "Are we dating now? Is this bald guy gonna kiss me?" They have no idea it sucks. Why aren't you scared of bears? Why aren't you scared of bears? Everybody acts like I'm the crazy one. They're 10 feet tall, they have knives for hands, and they don't know what the police are. It's scary. And when you do give me signs to warn about the animals out there, your warnings make no sense. They make no sense. If you've been on a hike, maybe you've seen a sign that I saw. I went on the date with this girl, and I saw a sign that said, "Beware coyotes. If seen, act tall." What does that fucking mean? Am I trying to trick this coyote into a Tinder date? That is not an effective warning for me. Just walking in there like confident, I don't know what that means. And here's the thing, I've worked very hard in my little set here to get the white women on my side. I'm gonna lose you right now. You know what else you're very weird with? Dogs. You guys are so weird with dogs. And not in anything that's like crazy, but just like little things. Like the first time I took my dog to a dog park here, I saw another dog owner call for his dog. And you guys don't even know, like this is unusual, but I was thrown off. I heard him call for his dog and he just went, "Come here, Derek." He named the dog Derek. I was like, are you and that dog going to get IPAs later? Are you and that dog on the way to lacrosse practice? Let's make a rule right now, just you, me, and everybody in this room. Don't name your dog a name that you're comfortable shouting out during sex. You can just say a sexy thing out loud with that name, and then you'll see if it feels right or not. Something like, you can fit another finger in there, biscuit. Don't pull out, meatloaf. You can feel when it's wrong or not, man. I don't know. But the dating here is so weird, and I also just found out something that makes it a little bit tougher for myself. I recently found out I have a creepy face, which has been tough. I realized this because I was sitting at a bar, and I had my back turned toward just like a group of bros. You ever see one of these in the wild? It's just a gaggle of bros. A murder of bros. And the king bro was holding court with his buddies, and he's just giving them this little speech, and he's going, guys, listen, you can be into whatever you want sexually, but it is not cool to fuck feet. And then he turned to me and went, no offense. I want you to understand, I wasn't behind these people giving like a PowerPoint on feet. I didn't have like my ruler out being like, you see, gentlemen, the foot is the thinking man's pussy. Toes don't get pregnant. I didn't say that, I just have this face. So I'm trying to make up for it, I'm trying to do some good stuff. I recently adopted a cat. Yeah, it's all right. But if you do adopt, I would give you this piece of advice, and I'll leave you on this little bit of advice. When I got my cat home, I was just curious, and I called them, and I was like, how long had my cat been at the shelter? Turned out my cat had been at the shelter for 7 years. Yeah, that's a long time on the inside. Now I've just got this felon cat learning how to be an outside cat at my house. He's just in my garage right now lifting weights. He's got a teardrop tattoo. He makes me pee sitting down. And doesn't do any cat stuff right. I'll be sitting there like watching TV, this thing will walk right up to me like a businessman and just go like, meow. My cat says the word meow. Why does my cat speak cat like a white lady speaking Spanish? Just walking around, como te llamo, meow. And here's the thing too, is my roommate's always making excuses for the cat. He says, Wes, leave the cat alone. It's 15 years old, which is old. That's a really old cat. But then he tags it with this. He goes, which is 60 in cat years. And look, I don't want to bring the place down, but there's no such thing as cat years. There aren't. Cats just suck at living. You can't make up your own metric of time because you're bad at something. I can't take one of the beautiful women in this room home with me tonight on the promise of like, ooh, girl, we're gonna make love for 3 hours in mosquito minutes. Guys, that's my time. Thanks for hanging out.
Wes Williams, everybody! All right, guys, we have a special guest with you today. She's actually the reason we're here. It's, you guessed it, your mother. No, I'm kidding. Guys, she is the reason why we're here. She started the Boulder Comedy Festival several years ago. and she's one of my best friends. She's so great, love her. Everybody welcome Zoe Rogers, everybody.
What's going on, Boulder? Let's give it up for the dairy for having us. I am so psyched to be here, not only because we have a lot of funny comedians and a beautiful audience, but I am also psyched to be here because I have 3 kids. So I am just happy to be out of my house. Having 3 kids, it feels like you are constantly hungover from a party that you never got to go to. Like the parents of more than one kid, we tend to view the parents of only children the way the Navy SEALs look at the reserves. We appreciate what it is you do. But we have seen shit that will change you. Things you cannot come back from. I had a chance to get off my little procreational compound the other day. A friend of mine took me out for lunch, and I had food and coffee when it was hot. I felt like Beyonce. But then I realized that the last time I had actually been to that restaurant was when my youngest was nursing. And at the time, when the food came to the table, she wanted to eat too. And for the record, if anybody here cares, I was very discreet. I had on my cover-up thing that I don't really think anybody knows the name of. I just called them my mammal wraps. And that way no one has to know I do mammal shit. Like breathe air and feed my young. But the people that were seated at the table next to us got very vocal about what was happening. And they were not happy. If they had been breastfed, they would be smarter. And that, for me, was a very quick lesson in the difference between your first kid and your third kid. Because I know if some mouthy Karen had gotten in my face like that with my oldest, like my first parenting rodeo, it would have shamed me. But with your third kid, I wanted to jump up on the table. Like that scene in Pulp Fiction. And be like, get on the ground, motherfuckers! Just machine gunning my tits at people. Now it's awkward. Now it's uncomfortable. Just people slipping in milk. The fantasy goes on. Because I have not slept in a very long time. The other night, there was this lady in the audience, and she shouted out at me. She goes, "Where was this?" Like, thank God for fact checkers, right, guys? And I said, this was in Los Angeles. And she goes, okay. Now it's all right. There's just no place else on earth where people deserve to be sprayed with warm breast milk more than Los Angeles? That's a little harsh. Like, do you know how traumatized people in Los Angeles would be if they had to see working breasts? Like, if their faces could show emotion, they would be shocked. I grew up on the East Coast. And I've lived here for 7 years. And I love it, but there are days where I need Google Translate to understand what is being said. The other day, I had a lady invite me to reflect on my intentions. Did you just call me a bitch? Because that would be so much faster. My husband, he's from the deep south. Deserved silence for that. And listen, people love to shit on the deep south. And I will do it with you. I will lead that parade. But one thing I will say, after having spent a lot of time there, because you have to do that when you marry one of them, heads up, is that I am killing it in the deep south. Like in Boulder, Colorado, you would be like, that lady needs a juice cleanse and a Pilates class. But in the deep south, I need an agent and another biscuit. My husband told me that joke was unkind. And I said, too bad, you're losing this war too! And I laughed with all my teeth, you guys. Just so many molars. Couples counseling is imminent. My husband and I, we've been married for 20 years. Thank you. You guys are about as excited about it as I am. Here's the thing. I feel like he's gotten a little too comfortable in our relationship. Like the other night, I tried to slink into bed, being all fecthy, in my Kraft white strips. Hey there, sailor. Feeling fattier than expected. And he said, there's something I've been wanting us to try, but I'm afraid you won't be open to it. And my first response was just like, well, we had a good run. But then he said, I want you to watch Battlestar Galactica with me. Why can't it just be anal? Because this is gonna be so demeaning. Just endless. After 20 years, we have, you guessed it, teenagers. And they have been kind enough to inform us that we are not cool. Which is a little confusing, right? Because it's like, wait, I'm embarrassing. You're a virgin who can't drive. My teenager's favorite pastime now is just pointing out words I don't know. So they love to come up and be like, hey mom, do you know what Riz is? She doesn't know. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what that is, but I know you used to shit in the tub. And that is sus. It was just a lot easier when they were younger, you know, because we had all these fun songs to get them to do what they needed to do. Like everybody in this room knows the cleanup song, right? Yes. I need that now. I need something like, if you want a girlfriend and you know it, wash your balls. All right, guys, give it up for your host.
Zoe Rogers, everybody! Are we having fun? All right, let's do it. Your next comedian, he recently performed at the Big Pine Festival. Everybody give it up for Aditya Shakar.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Guys, I had somebody tell me the other day that white privilege is being able to walk into a country club and no one questions why you're there. I feel like I have the same privilege at any hospital in America. If I walked confidently, I could be in the operating room at Boulder Community in 20 minutes. Right? There's genuinely nowhere I feel more welcome than at the best endoscopy lab in my area. All right, that's really my happy place. I'm a big basketball fan, guys. Big NBA guy. Are you guys all Denver Nuggets fans? I'm assuming Nuggets, yeah, Nuggets, yeah. So right now there are no Indians on an NBA roster, but there is an Indian referee. So he's my favorite player in the league, actually. My friends will be like, "Did you catch the game last night? What a performance!" And I'm like, "I know. Such a well-officiated game." Did you see that double dribble call? Electric. Like LeBron will go up for a 360 dunk. Does nothing for me. Then Suyash will call him for traveling. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about right there. Unstoppable. Like, some people throw garbage in the trash and they're like, "Kobe, I'll tell a pedestrian not to jaywalk and be like, Suyash. He's the best in the business. He's the best. I do like doing comedy. I've been doing comedy for a bit now. A big part of stand-up these days is we're all posting videos online. I'm sure you've seen stuff on social media, comics posting stuff. I was editing a video of mine a few weeks ago, and I had this thought cross through my head. I was like, oh, this supermodel I know, her videos get a lot of views. I should see how she does her subtitles. As if the font choice was really carrying those reels. If I just switch to Helvetica, my stuff is gonna pop off, right? My friends will be like, "You have to see how hot this girl is." And I'm like, "Yeah, check out those closed captions." Those are some nice double C's right there. I have been trying to date a little bit more. I think I do okay on first dates because I'm okay with the surface level conversation, like what's your favorite movie kind of stuff. My problem is on the second date, I'm just like, so what's your second favorite movie? Do you have any new siblings since last week? So it is not going great. I don't know, like with online dating, do you guys Google the person before you go out with them for the first time? See, I think it's kind of a normal thing to do. I think it's kind of a red flag when the person hasn't Googled me before. So these are the kinds of questions I've started asking on dates. So, where did I go to college? She's like, Purdue University. I'm like, you think I'm the 5th Google result for Aditya Shankar NYC? I got rejected by somebody recently. I got turned down. And a lot of my friends have been telling me stuff like, don't you want to be with someone who's excited to be with you? And it's like, you think I want to be with someone who's excited to be with me? I want to be with someone so much better than me that when her friends meet me afterwards, they go, that guy? I want her friends to be concerned for her mental health when they meet me. Okay? I want there to be planning and intervention. Okay, that's what I would. I am from the Boston area originally, guys. Boston, and like Boston has a reputation of being a much whiter place than I think it really is. Like I was at a sports bar in New York recently. I was watching the Boston Celtics play the New York Knicks, and a guy noticed that I was cheering for the Celtics, and goes, "What? Did you go to Harvard or something?" As if that was more likely. Than me just being from Boston, all right? He was like, I think it's more likely that this guy went to the most selective university in the world than it is that he's from Worcester. Guys, I looked into the demographics of Massachusetts versus Harvard University. The guy kind of nailed it, honestly. The guy. If you include MIT, it's not even close. It's not. I come from like a very multilingual family. We'll be speaking like 4 different languages in the house at the same time. But ultimately, we're just a Massachusetts family. So these are the kinds of conversations that happen in our house. It'll be like, "Tujhe kya lagta hai? Hum kaise karenge is saal? Bill Belichick ke bina." Or yav cinema norona, shole illa eno Ben Affleck jote. O Starbucks ke kapobanda, pudu dunkere kapoidva. Rendered double chocolate frosted sprinkles were vangidva. They're wicked good, you gotta check those out. You gotta check them. Can talk about religion a little bit. I am a Hindu, guys, I'm a Hindu. But like, it's not uncommon for people to assume that I'm Muslim. And I'm not really religious, but let me tell you, I am never more Hindu than when someone assumes that I'm Muslim, okay? It's almost Islamophobic how Hindu I am in that moment, all right? Someone will be like, "Happy Ramadan." And I'll be like, "I've been eating all day, actually." No beef, though. No beef, though. All right, guys, keep it going for your host, everybody. Thanks so much.
Aditya Shankar, everybody. I'm so sorry. God, the whitest I've ever felt was pronouncing his name just now. All right, you guys having fun? Oh, by the way, I just want to say happy Pride, everybody. Yeah. I'm very proud because recently my friends, they were like, "Hey, Linus, we name you our honorary bi friend." Applause, please. Yeah. Pretty crazy because I am actually straight, but I'll take it nonetheless. Actually, while our next are you ready? Okay, great. Guys, actually, I'm so stoked to see this person. She comes from all the way from New York as well. Everybody give it up for Cassie Wilson, everybody. Keep it going, come on. She's setting up. All right.
This is prop comedy, you guys. This is part of it. Okay, up a little bit more. This is tech right here. Wait, up a little bit more. I'm really having a lot of fun. Wait, no, this is so fun for me. Okay, Slay, thank you. Oh my God, hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here. How are you feeling? I feel insane. I think it's the altitude. I threw up right before this. Not because of the altitude. Unrelated. I'm gonna do some musical comedy. I thought I would start with a 9-minute cover of Hey Ya by Outkast. Nar, I'm not gonna do that, don't worry. Do you guys, okay, so yeah, I'm coming from New York, lots happening in New York. Have you guys heard of Zohran Mamdani over here? Yes! If you don't know, he's a democratic socialist who just won the primary to be our mayor, essentially. Yeah, we're obsessed with him, and we being me. And I like made a video with him back in December to like talk about the campaign, get his name out there. And like the literal second that I posted that video, my mother texted me and was like, "Is it just me or is Zohran objectively adorable? Does he have a wife/girlfriend?" Because my parents are so lived out, they're always trying to like procure a biracial grandchild. Can anyone out there relate? Yes, I know you guys can. I know everyone wants a biracial grandchild out there. Unfortunately, Zohran is married. That's really unfortunate for me. Mostly for my mom though. So this is I unfortunately have to like get back out there with like dating and everything. So this is a song about a famously perfect experience, dating men. And if you're a man out there, I just want you to open your heart to me. This is me asking you to like not hate me after this song. Okay, great. We match on Bumble and I'm feeling pretty fab cause you've got a shirtless pic and I'm like, okay, I see those abs. You say, let's get a drink tonight. And I say, sounds great. I spend an hour shaving everything within an inch of my life. Walk into the bar and I can see that this is my night. I give you that little hug and it just feels right. But as the night goes on, there's something that I just can't ignore. Your stories are so long, and I think that I've been here before. Ask me a fucking question. Just one little fucking question. I ask you where you're from, and you're like upstate something something. I ask what's your favorite movie, and of course it's Good Will Hunting. Well, it's that tied with The Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, God, what a classic. Leo's such a fucking stud. Literally all you have to do is lob a question back at me. Just turn one of them around. This could not be more easy. Oh, no, sure. I'd love to hear more about your semester abroad in Copenhagen, Jason. I suppress another yawn. What am I supposed to do? You just go on, and I'm much more interesting than you. Ask me a fucking question. Just one motherfucking question. You know what? No. Here's some questions for you. Did you know if you ask me what I do for work, I will literally have sex with you? Did you know if you ask me about my hobbies, well, I just might eat your ass? I know that love shouldn't be transactional, but if you ask a question, we can take this vaginal. Did you know there are 67 tiles on the ceiling of this bar? I counted them while you monologued about how the vibes are off with your roommate's new girlfriend. And then you say, hey, we should get dinner, 'cause you've never met such a good listener. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Will you please take me now, God? And then you ask if my apartment is close. And I guess that counts as a question. But like, seriously, next time, ask me a fucking question. Thank you. Men, how are we feeling? Oh, I love you. I love you out there. I know there's a loneliness crisis, so. I love that the loneliness crisis is men being like, we don't have friends, and everyone's like, that's women's fault, you know? Okay, I lost them again. Uh-oh. Um, come back to me, boys. It's okay. Okay. I'm trying to think of which song to do. Do you guys know about One Direction? Okay, that wasn't enough yeses for me, so I'm gonna do the other song, actually. That was a test and you guys fucking failed. So my parents are vying for biracial grandchildren because my dad is such a wasp. Any wasps out there? Yes, wasps! It's like the saddest little woo you've ever heard. It's because we're also repressed. My dad's name is Jonathan Coddington Wilson. Once again, that's Jonathan Coddington Wilson. Wilson has 2 L's. That's how waspy I am. If you're not familiar with wasp culture, we don't talk about literally anything. And so it took me kind of a long time to learn about my own family history. So this is a song about my grandparents, and everything you're about to hear is true, and let me just say you're allowed to laugh, okay? It's gonna be dark, but that's okay. My father's mother, otherwise known as Grammy, never had a job and chain smoked for 40 years. Whoa, when I was a kid, I wondered why she stayed inside for months at a time. No, seriously, guys, what is Grammy's deal? She's got raging bipolar. Ooh, raging bipolar. Get the old gal some lithium. My mother's mother died before I was born, but she was a professor and beloved matriarch. Whoa, grew up in a tenement building on the Lower East Side, and then she became a girl boss. But they never told me how she died. She had early onset Alzheimer's. Ooh, it came on in her 50s. That one's genetic. Cool. My mother's father, nothing technically wrong with him. My father's father also died before I was born. And all I really knew is that he was a lawyer. Whoa. My dad never really talked about him much. Why is that? No, seriously, guys, what was Grandpa's deal? He was a full-on schizophrenic. Everybody sing! Ooh, a full-on schizophrenic. You guys sound amazing! Thanks for the heads up, Dad. It was the 60s, and so they treated him with electroshock therapy. He kinda went off the deep end and grew a long gray beard and dreadlocks, living in a chicken farmer's shack in New Jersey, eating raw potatoes for dinner. Love you, Grandpa. But that didn't kill him. He became a local legend and used to walk to the library every day to help the high school students with their homework until he was hit by a drunk driver. And that's what killed him. Ooh, and that's 3 out of 4 grandparents with debilitating mental illnesses. And so far I am okay. I really feel like I dodged a bullet, except that now I do musical comedy, and if I don't have your attention I will burst into flames. I've been Cassie Wills and you guys have had so much fun.
Cassie Wilson, everybody! All right, are you guys ready for our headliner tonight? Oh, by the way, I love you guys so much. You guys have been an amazing crowd. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, for your next and final comedian, you can find her on Comedy Central. Everybody give it up for Katrina Davis, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Give it up for everyone you've seen tonight. Oh my God. I love Cassie so much. I love that dating song. The bar is on the floor. I feel so bad for all of my friends that are dating. I have a boyfriend, no need to brag. I don't mean to brag. But he does feel like I'm going to leave him sometimes, and I do feel like he does not know what my options are. Like, the amount of men that are attracted to me that I would actually sleep with is like the amount of time that I'm awake, but the bank is open. Does that make sense? Like, the window is so small. Razor thin margins we're dealing with here. How is everyone? You good? I like it. This is nice. I'm happy to be here, but I'm excited to go home. I miss my cat. I love him. I just had to spend so much money on his tiny little mouth. He had to get teeth pulled, spent $2,000 I do not have. Had to give him medicine, he hates it. It was like trying to feed a suffragist for 2 weeks. It was the worst. But no, I'm excited to go home. I moved to New York from LA last year, really exciting. Moved to New York, immediately developed an autoimmune disease. It was pretty cool. Had the worst year ever last year. Like, I got sick and then severed a tendon in my finger and then also had to get surgery. I'll give you, this is an example of what my summer was like. I'll just do it by relaying a voicemail that I got from one of my doctors. Hey Katrina, how you doing? I'm looking at your chart here. You have a fibroid at the entrance of your uterus. Pretty big, looks like we're gonna have to operate. Oh, look at that, happy birthday. So that is what my 2024 was like in a voicemail. I was so sick. I had less of a brat summer, more of a Tiny Tim summer. I was ill the entire time. So sick. I'm still kind of sick, but I'm fine. I go to the hospital once a week, but I go get treatment at the chemo center with like all the old people that have to get chemo. So just like me and like 13 people that experience segregation firsthand hanging out once a week. You can't be in a bad mood around them. Like, I know times are tough, but once a week I am not allowed to bitch because I go in at like 8:30 in the morning and I'm like, how's it going, Gladys? And she goes, I woke up. And you're like, okay, fucking easy. Take it down a notch. But I love them. Like, I do. I think that old people should get more credit when they beat cancer. Because I've been there sometimes when people have to ring the bell or get to ring the bell, like for their last treatment. And sometimes it's just like whatever nurse isn't on break clapping for you. And like tops, if you were a good parent, one of your kids will take off work and do a video for their TikTok. Like, it's not a huge thing every time. And like, kids beat cancer and they get so much stuff. Like, it's nuts. And their bodies are little, like, they're not working as hard. It's not. Make-A-Wish isn't merit-based, is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like my friend should also get to meet Tom Brady. That's all I'm really saying. Oh man, I'm really excited to be here. Did everyone have a nice Pride? Did anyone Pride today? Or was that in another city? They're like, we don't Pride here. They Pride elsewhere. Okay, I don't know if this is the Pride safe zone. Oh yeah, one person went to Pride. Thank you so much. This joke is for just you, I guess. No, because I love all of my queer friends. I feel like I learned so much from them without them even meaning to teach me anything. Because one time I saw one of my trans friends post a video of her dancing, but she was dancing so badly that I knew she had been conditioned as a white man. And I don't mean that in the corny way of like, oh, white people can't dance. I mean that if she were conditioned as a woman, she never would have done something that ugly and been like, the world needs to see this. Like that. Like, that's an arrogance we only teach men. And so I had to stop myself because I immediately wanted to DM her and be like, oh, honey, no, like, we don't do ugly things outside. And I was like, I'm a part of the problem. Like, what? I don't know. But I also think that that's what some people are afraid of, is just a woman that isn't afraid to be ugly conditionally, because that'll fuck some people up. It's pretty cool. Like, oh my gosh, just any kind of like unbridled aggression from it. Like, clap if you're a woman in here and you've swung a baseball bat. Okay, cool. I see some women not clapping. Get on it immediately. It is the best thing in the world. I sometimes have to take rounds of steroids for my blood disorder, and I was on a round of steroids and went to batting cages for the first time. I immediately forgave Barry Bonds. Like, that's what that drug is for. Like, that's all I want to do now is fucking crack one open. Like, every morning I wake up and I just want to grip it and rip it. And like, I think that's the kind of power they've been hiding from us, is what I'm trying to say. Cassie was talking about the male loneliness epidemic. They're mad because we're not having as many babies as we used to. I think there's a lot of factors, though. I think they're like blaming like young women and wanting to pursue their own happiness and like having their own bank accounts and stuff. But I also literally, when I lived in LA during the pandemic, I moved into my first apartment where I had a bedroom and a separate room, and I got a sofa, like a full-size sofa. And I got it, and I laid on it with my full body. And I was like, this is why we don't have kids. Like, I love this sofa so much. Like, the idea of making something that would potentially ruin this sofa is not something I'm going to do. Like, we've created enough life for ourselves, but I also think that no one is talking enough about the variable that is Turkish male hair transplants. Thank you so much. Literally the most luxurious hair I've ever seen. Front center, being like, oh my God, they're so sad and bald. You will never be bald. You have the most amazing hair I've ever seen in my life. That was hilarious. Literally like a brunette Fabio just laughed at every bald man. Look, you guys can kind of see. Shit's gorgeous. He's like, I feel so bad for them. Oh my God. Their hairlines are so far back. He has a widow's peak too. Like, he's fucking stunting on all of them. But no, it's like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like there is basically like an all-inclusive package that they sell to Americans in Turkey, where you can go and just like bing, bang, boom. Like, you stay in the same hotel, you come out looking like you're fucking 30 again. Like, that's what they're selling people. And I think that it is an anthropological mistake, because those men were chosen to be bald for a reason. Because they needed to be humbled by baldness for someone to find them tolerable to mate with. And now they're out there just buying themselves 5 to 10 more years of just like talking down to 27-year-olds. And it's a problem. Like, I love the knowing laughter of every woman over 45. Like, it's hilarious. One of those guys came to my dad's retirement. My dad's friend, who's been cue ball bald my whole life, came in like full mullet with a new girlfriend. I was like, who the fuck is this dude? And my dad was like, that's Steve. I was like, that's not Steve. Like that. And he was a dick when he was bald. He doesn't need hair. He's so insufferable now. Like, oh my God, bald Steve was rude. His daughters don't talk to him. Anyway, no, it's cool. I have a lot of opinions people don't like. It's fine. That's why I work from home. They want us to go back to the office. I feel like they forgot what some of us are like. It's truly, like, I'm better remote. The last in-person job I had, the first day they sent us an email of questions and it was like, icebreaker for the team to get to know you. And the first question was, tell us something that not a lot of people know about you. Why the fuck would I tell them? I was immediately annoyed. And then the second question was, what is your party trick? And I put leaving. So, why are you putting me here? I got feedback from a manager once that I just had to talk to people at work. And so the next day I heard a bunch of girls yelling and giggling outside of my office. So I was like, all right, I'll go say hi. And I went and I was like, oh, what's going on? Why are you all yelling? And the girl that sits across from me goes, oh my God. I saw a roach in the bathroom and I killed it, but I ran out screaming and they were just laughing at me because I look so silly. And I was like, oh. Well, you should go back and pick it up because they're cannibalistic and the other ones will come out and eat the body. It's true, we had a problem in the office, whatever, but she cried. And it's like, what do you want? This is why my door is closed. Oh man. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am a fucking nerd. That is why these social interactions went the way they do. I went to see my boyfriend's parents for Christmas, and I was really nervous. And it was hot in their house, but I couldn't take off my sweater because the shirt I wore underneath had a drawing of a girl with big fat anime titties on it. Does that resonate with anyone? Cool. Side note, so hard to like anime as a feminist. Everyone's butt naked all the time. It's like, you have to be like, no, she is still like a spy like the rest of them. Oh man, but no, wait, why did I even say that? I was talking. Oh yeah, because I'm a fucking nerd. Okay, yeah. No, but I do get really defensive about it sometimes because culturally it was really cute for girls for like a couple years to say they loved nerds. And there were girls who would be like, oh my God, I love nerds. I was like, no, the fuck you don't. You turn 30 and now all your crushes are nearsighted. That's the same dude from before with glasses. That's not what we're talking about. I've been the middleman on multiple eBay purchases for WrestleMania memorabilia. Don't tell me this isn't a game. What? Oh, you love nerds. Have you ever had a boyfriend with a favorite kind of airplane? I'll fucking fight you. It was a Commodore. One of the romantic things that me and my first boyfriend used to do together is that he would call me in the room whenever it was sunset in Grand Theft Auto. And then I would roll a blunt and he would drive to the coast and we would watch it together. My culture is not your costume. My culture has real costumes. They're really expensive. No, it's nice. I do feel bad for my friends that are dating though, just because, I don't know, there's just so much I feel, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong because I haven't been out there, but I feel like people aren't being honest with each other from the text that I'm deciphering on behalf of other people. And it's all, I don't know, there's just so much that I think could be simpler in relationships. I feel like we make breakups so much harder than they need to be. I feel like breakups are really just a difference in tapping out. That's all, one of you is oh, this is bad, and one of you has so much trauma that you're not even close. That's all that's really happening, is one of you hasn't recognized, the last guy I broke up with, I was like, oh, we should break up, we fight every day. And he was like, what do you mean? We haven't even taken out our first restraining orders on each other yet. He just didn't know. He just thought there was so much left to explore. It's just no one's even punched a hole in a wall yet. You're a real quitter. But I did learn a lot in that relationship because we used to argue a lot because he wanted to have sex a lot more often than I did. And so I tried to be really self-analytical about it and make sure it wasn't just me. And one time we had a conversation and he was like, well, I would like to have sex 5 times a week. And I was like, that's wild, because you have to stop annoying me 3 to 4 times a week for that to happen. What? These ratios are off. But I think the main part was just that we were attracted at different amounts, like just as the way we are as people. And this is just my loose theory. I know that everyone's different, but I feel like if you're in a monogamous relationship, you don't necessarily stop being attracted to other people. You just like see other people that you would want to fuck all day. And then you go home and let all those fuck parts out on one person. Like you just like hold them all in, and then you're all full of fuck. And then you like let it out on each other. I thought that's what we were all doing. And I think that he was just getting more material than me because I'm like mildly bisexual. I'm attracted to like 5 women a year and I let them live their life. Like literally not even bi enough to write home about. It doesn't matter. But I am attracted to enough women to like recognize they're hot, and I feel like he thinks so many more women are hot that it's like, what? It's not like, have you ever seen a woman put her hair up? It's like the 5th hottest thing in the world. Like I feel like we're just constantly giving you visuals. Like I feel like most things that a woman does could be painted inside a clamshell, and if you're attracted to men, it's because you don't look at them that long. And yo, I want to fuck tons of y'all, but visuals are not your strong suit. That's just not what you bring to the table. Like, if you see a guy being hot in the wild, you gotta clock that shit and like log it forever. Like you're never, you got 5 good Mississippis with a man in the wild being hot before he fucks it up. Like, they can't help it. You got 5 seconds where you see a guy being like, oh, that guy's handsome, before he does this thing. What is going on? Like, I'm trying to build a yank bank out here. It's so weird. Everyone my age is like, men need therapy. Men need an ear, nose, and throat doctor. You're all so congested. All right, that feels good. Night, y'all.
Katrina Davis, everybody! Give it up for ear, nose, and throat doctors! Guys, that is the end of our show. I hope you guys had fun. Give it up for the dairy, give it up for yourselves, give it up for your comedians. Thank you so much. That's our show. Thank you. Have a good night. Get home safe, everybody.